before we get into our review of the Go Home Raw to SummerSlam, we want to send out our well wishes and get well soons to the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who is apparently dealing with some severe health issues. Was put into a medically induced coma, but did have successful surgery early on Monday. We don't know the extent of what's going on, but we understand that it is extremely serious, and we can only hope that it gets better from here. Again, our condolences to Charlotte and the rest of the Flair family, his friends, fans, all the other wrestlers that have been sending out their own well wishes, people who he has inspired. We can only hope that from this point on it gets better and we can see the return of Ric Flair. But tonight, I learned something on Raw that I didn't know before.
And who that is?
Apparently, if you want to sell a pay-per-view, you take a championship match at a first time ever and you do it on Raw.
Yeah.
Apparently that's how that works.
You take two of the matches that are supposed to be at the pay-per-view and do them 6 days before the pay-per-view. Woo!
Was it maybe because you realized you already had 12 matches set? I don't know. It worked out for one of them, I'll say that. The other one, not so much. I don't even know if they'll put that one back on the pay-per-view for...
Probably not.
I don't know, we'll find out.
To be honest, which is going to suck.
Right? Especially with how good it was tonight.
Yeah.
But we open up with Seth and Dean with mixed emotions and not sure if they want to get back together or not.
Yeah, so one of them pushed the other, and they pushed back, and then they fought.
Yeah.
But then Sheamus and Cesaro are like, and here's my theory. They weren't actually going out there to beat up Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
They're trying to break him up?
No, they were trying to go out there to get that guy his phone back.
Yeah, no, there was the dude's phone was there.
There's a guy who dropped his phone.
And was
right
nearly going to be crushed by Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins fighting out there.
And Sheamus and Cesaro were doing the respectable thing. They were coming out, they were going to give the guy's phone back, and Seth and Dean were like, oh, fuck you guys, let's beat you up.
Yeah.
And they fought all over the place. They fought in the ring. And eventually, Dean and Seth would double clothesline both guys out of the opposite sides of the ring.
And that was enough to finally reunite the entirety of the Shield.
Yeah, after a quick double fist tease.
Yeah, like Dean put his out and Seth didn't.
Seth didn't immediately put it away, like put his out, and so Dean seems like super offended.
Yeah.
And
so Dean pulls his back and Seth puts his out and Dean's like, what are you doing?
Which one of us is going to fist each other?
And then they both fisted each other at the same time. The crowd lost their mind, and apparently that was enough to make them the #1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team titles, and they will face The Bar this Sunday at SummerSlam. I will say it is cool to see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose back together.
I'm going to be honest, that seems like one of the matches I'm actually really looking forward to at SummerSlam.
Absolutely. And then our first match of the night was to determine who would face Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. Sasha Banks and Nia Jax both winning their respective triple threat matches last week. We had Alexa Bliss in a lifeguard chair, which they're...
You mean a throne.
They spray painted it silver, okay?
I'm pretty sure it was just white.
It looked a little shiny. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they spray painted it silver. So it kind of looked like a throne.
It didn't look like a throne at all.
Anyway, it was a lifeguard chair.
She was out there making sure nobody was going to drown.
Thanks, Alexa. Because people drown... Do people drown often in Boston?
Especially
Boston
at wrestling
Harbor?
shows.
Boston Harbor.
Yeah.
Alright.
But especially at wrestling shows.
Oh, okay. A great match between Sasha and Nia.
The Boston God.
Thanks, Michael Cole.
Wicked.
Jesus Christ, Michael. Pay more attention to your commentary and not come up with different things you can say because you're in Boston.
You mean Boston.
In the Gaddon. Sasha and Nia had a fantastic match.
Yeah, but the biggest credit to Alexa is she stayed completely straight-faced the whole time.
Yeah, she played it out that she was there simply scouting whomever was going to be the one to face her on Sunday.
Just in a very large chair.
Because goddesses need large chairs.
Yeah.
Even if they're 5 feet tall.
Tiny
but yeah, Sasha ended up actually a couple of times getting those like high angle submissions on Nia. Nia was able to switch out of a couple of them, hit some Samoan drops, but Sasha eventually did get the bank statement on. Mm-hmm. Nia got close to the ropes, and then Sasha did the smart thing by flipping over, getting the other arm, and then Nia ended up picking her up. And I was like, all right, fine, I'm just going to flip you around. And she did that, and she spun herself right into a tornado DDT, which allowed Sasha to lock in the bank statement one more time. And Sasha Banks is facing Alexa Bliss this Sunday at SummerSlam. Fantastic finish. This actually led to a few other things. Emma wasn't happy that Sasha was getting all of the spotlight, and she got screwed out of her triple threat match last week, and
totally
she was venting all of this to Mickey, and Mickey's like, okay, you're kind of being a little bitch. So instead of being a little bitch, why don't you, step up and face a 6-time women's champion later in the ring? And Emma's like, fine.
Sure.
I'll do that. And so they did. So we had Mickie James versus Emma.
Yeah, and it was a decent match to little to no fanfare from the crowd.
Yeah.
This was one of like 2 or 3 segments / matches that the crowd just didn't seem into at all.
This probably would have benefited going before the number 1 contenders match.
Potentially.
But it wasn't. Still, great match. It's nice. It's just nice to see Emma and Mickey.
Yeah, it's good to see a match from Raw's women division that doesn't have Alexa, Nia, Bayley, or Sasha as one of the people in the match.
Yes.
It's starting to become somewhat like the cruiserweight division, where it's like, please give us somebody that's not Neville, TJP, Rich Swann, or somebody, Jack Gallagher versus Daivari.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's it was a refreshing one-on-one, and it was also refreshing to see Mickie James pick up a win.
Yeah.
On TV, despite it would have been nice to see Emma win. Also,
yeah, I would like that a little bit better.
But I think this could be a cool little like side women's feud. Just Emma constantly being, not impressed with her spot on the card, and I want her to eventually get with Jason Jordan because I think that would be great. But
I think it'd be hilarious because the whole thing is that no one, the whole bit of the angle would be best played out if it's a huge shocker because no one took her threat seriously.
Yeah.
And then it does happen, and Kurt just kind of has to go, I guess.
I mean, he's 28 years old. I can't tell him what he can and can't do anymore.
They do the reveal that Jason Jordan's dating Emma, and Kurt comes out and goes, "You're grounded." And then they have a match against each other at WrestleMania.
The loser is grounded. And the winner gets Emma.
That'd be weird. That'd be like watching Kurt Angle versus young black Kurt Angle.
That's exactly what it would be.
Almost like it would be Kurt Angle versus Jason Jordan -Angle.
Speaking of Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle, we saw Kurt Angle talking with the Hardys, telling the Hardys that they unfortunately won't get their hands on the Revival due to Scott Dawson recently having surgery on his bicep. So, he's trying to figure out what to do, but he's interrupted by Miz and the Entourage.
That's right.
I'm not saying that stupid word. To which Miz is trying to get something to happen because of what happened last week. He's like, hey, I don't appreciate the way I'm being treated. And
my favorite whole bit about this bit from The Miz was him saying like, I demand you to do something because of the fact that you let Brock Lesnar loose on me and my entourage. To which I just wanted Kurt Angle to go, bitch, do you think I could stop Brock Lesnar?
Well, it was even like
He couldn't stop Brock Lesnar in his prime.
It was even better because Kurt went, yeah, so like Kurt didn't give a fuck.
He said to be fair, I'll give Curtis Axel the match he was supposed to have last week against Jason Jordan.
Yeah, and Miz didn't like that very much, and so instead, later on in the show, we got Miz versus Jason Jordan.
Yeah, Miz is like, no, I want the match, and Curtis Axel should have been like, aw,
but I wanted the match. So yeah, that was a match we had. Yeah, we'll talk about that one now. Yeah, Jason Jordan won by disqualification.
Yeah, because he was basically just making the Miz his bitch all over the ring.
He was getting ready to hit his little neck breaker, and Axel and Dallas went, nope!
And they just tackled him from behind.
To which he was saved by the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, because they thought the whole backstage segment was funny.
Yeah. Which that turned into a
impromptu 6-person tag match.
Yes. Again, fun to watch.
I didn't say 6-man tag because I'm still undecided about the Miz's genitalia.
That's fair. Well, more often than not, his genitalia is in the person of one Maurice. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a fun 6-man tag. Everyone kind of doing.
Jason Jordan chopped.
And that's
my takeaway.
Kevin Hart was
each of the Hardys held an arm, and Jason Jordan did a chop.
So shout out to Ric Flair.
I can only say that that's got to be why it happened.
It was a get well soon to the Nature Boy. But eventually,
there's enough chops and woos on Raw, which is Ric Flair.
But eventually, it got to a point where everyone wanted to be in the ring, but no one could stay in the ring.
Yeah.
Everyone got in and would fight and immediately get tossed out.
Jeff Hardy and Bo Dallas were the legal people at the time, and they were fighting, and then all 4 other guys just kept going in and out around them. Jason Jordan instigating a lot of people leaving the ring.
Oh yeah, no, he was chucking people out of the ring left and right.
I feel like Bo Dallas just kept having to shove him out, going no, get out. This is our part of the match.
But
Jason Jordan's stalking people like a mad midget on his knees.
Was it the Miz that he was going after?
Yes.
Oh man, it was there was.
I still think everything looks better done to the Miz with his goofy Gary Oldman haircut.
Because it flies all over the place when it gets flung around. But yeah, Bo Dallas ended up being the victim of a trio of moves. I believe he was hit with a belly to belly from Jordan.
Yeah.
And then immediately got up into a twist of fate from Matt, and was followed by a very stiff swanton bomb from Jeff Hardy.
After taking a very bottom heavy whisper in the wind from
that was not a whip. They were yelling in the wind with that one.
Yelling at a slight breeze.
So yeah, it was not a good night to be Bo Dallas, but he ended up losing for his team, and Jason Jordan and the Hardys pick up a win.
Whoa! Imagine that.
Funny
a much more high-profile grouping of people who would beat The Miz, along with 2 guys who.
It's not like they wouldn't beat half the roster, other than The Miz and the Entourage.
Yeah.
With that same backstage segment, Kurt Angle wasn't able to talk to the Miz or finish whatever the Miz wanted to say.
Yeah.
Because he got pulled away by a referee because Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt were fighting in the hallway.
Yeah, so he cut to commercial break.
And then we came back.
And
Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt were fighting in the hallway.
Yeah, they were just forearming the shit out of each other.
And Finlay was there, and Angle was there, and
Kurt Angle also was there.
He thought 2 Kurt Angles were there, but one of them was Adam Pearce. And
I forgot what color suit Kurt Angle was wearing.
He was wearing the blue one.
Yeah.
You can always guarantee he's going to be wearing some sort of American flag color.
That's probably true.
But I think white and red are a little tacky for Monday Night Raw, so he went with blue. But eventually,
he's shown his allegiance to his old SmackDown brand.
There you go. He realizes SmackDown is the superior brand. But they ended up getting pulled apart, and so Kurt Angle decides that, hey, we're not going to wait till SummerSlam. We're going to do this match tonight.
Alrighty then, let's do the match.
And it was good.
It's pretty good.
I mean, the fact that it's the first time ever is nice. So, you know what both guys can do, but it's fun to watch them actually pull the moves out on each other.
Yeah. They're just putting all the moves on each other.
All of them. So much moves.
Finn started getting a real big head of steam.
Yeah, he did.
Especially, they got to the outside towards the end of the match, and he drop kicked Bray Wyatt very, very hardly into the guardrail.
That was that shit whip drop kick. But Bray Wyatt wasn't slacking at all through this match.
No, it was a good.
It was highly contested.
Yeah, it was a good showing for Bray Wyatt because I felt the fact that it was Finn Balor and being an indie/NXT guy, the work pace is a little higher.
Yeah.
And this is something that Bray Wyatt can do because of his cardiovascular endurance.
Yeah.
That we don't get to see him do very often because for the longest time he was being paired off against John Cena or Kane or
Roman
super
Reigns.
typical WWE style
Roman Reigns.
guys.
Yeah.
So to watch him go with a faster paced opponent and just watching him being able to keep up with him despite the fact that he doesn't look like a guy who would probably be able to actually keep up with Finn Balor.
It's one of the best qualities about Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt is that he is
Him and Kevin Owens.
they're both deceivingly agile and can keep pace with just about anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually, Finn definitely in the driver's seat, heading up for the coup de grace, ends up getting crotched on the top rope, pulled down, and hit cleanly with the Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt picking up a clean win.
As clean as you can call ballsing somebody on the top turnbuckle.
I mean, if you're not getting disqualified for it, it must be legal.
Yeah.
But things didn't stay clean for very long.
No, because his sister Abigail'd him again.
And then the lights went out.
The lights went out. The lights came back on, and this is the weirdest part to me about the whole thing. Is when the lights came back on, Finn was just like sitting in the corner.
Yeah, Finn was like...
Nobody puts Finny in the corner.
Except for Bray Wyatt.
Apparently.
Finn was all hunched over in the corner.
And Bray Wyatt had a rusty bucket.
Yeah, Bray's standing in the middle of the ring with a rusty bucket.
He's like, hey Finn, have you ever done a rusty bucket?
That's gross. I thought he was just going to take it and whatever was in it was just going to hurl it into his face, or Finn was going to find some way to
Get out.
kung fu it away from Bray Wyatt. I don't know why Finn Balor was going to use kung fu. It's just the first thing that popped in my head. Instead, he's like, we're going to get messy, but we're going to get messy just in this corner.
Yeah.
And so he proceeds to dump
A bucket of NyQuil.
this viscous acidic liquid. By the way, Finn Balor posted a picture of him from the promo after this, and Chris Jericho commented, "Is that an acidic fluid?" Or acidic liquid or whatever. So, thank you, Chris Jericho. But yeah, so...
I'm pretty sure he just dumped a whole, gallon of NyQuil.
Whatever it was, it was supposed to be blood. Alright? We're just gonna fucking put it... We're not PG. It was blood. It's what it was supposed to be.
Fucking blood.
It wasn't paint. Blood. Not funny! But Finn decides he doesn't want to stay in the corner, so he drags the blood.
Finn starts bugging out like it does hurt him.
And
this weird.
This
and
is
he's
why
crawling and flailing.
Yeah.
Everywhere, and he's just leaving body prints and hand prints and giant sloshes of red.
It is a bloody fucking mess in the ring by the end of this.
All over the canvas.
And he's just he is just covered. Bray is having a good old fucking time. And yeah, so it looks like a scene out of the movie Seven by the end of this. Pretty fucking gnarly. And then we get the backstage promo where we come up to Kurt Angle's door, and there's already blood, on the outside. And Charlie's waiting outside. Finn, still covered in the stuff, comes out and she has to...
Except he's got, like, straight down his front is clean, like somebody took a big squeegee and just like...
Well, he did have a...
towel.
He did have a towel, so I imagine he did this, but then it all, like, started to trickle out of his hair, and it was just, like...
It was, like, crusting.
Just nasty little blood lines, like, flowing down his face. But Charlie asked, what's the situation? What can we assume from your conversation with Kurt Angle? And it was Finn Balor asking for a rematch against Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam.
Yeah, so the match is back on.
Which is awesome because they up it and make it more interesting by having Finn Balor say, Bray Wyatt has his demons, well, he's going to find out that I have mine.
Yeah, and then we confirm it later in the show that it's
we
going to be...
We confirm our suspicions!
The demon Finn Balor. Like the demon Kane. Does that mean from now on, like, when he's not the demon Finn Balor, he's just going to be like the normal Finn Balor?
He's going to be corporate Finn Balor.
Corporate Balor.
You don't...
Corporate Finn and demon Finn.
You could just call him Finn Balor.
Yeah.
But when he's painted up, then you can call him the demon.
No, it's going to be the Normo Finn Balor.
Stupid. But that was
the jacket-wearing Finn Balor.
That was the good way of taking a match, putting it on Raw, and making it even more hyped for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Let's go to the other side of that coin.
Yeah, let's take a match that was supposed to happen in SummerSlam,
championship match.
Put it on Raw, have the title change hands, and then not acknowledge whether or not it's going to actually still happen at SummerSlam.
We might get clarification on 205 Live.
Yeah, because it was Tozawa versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship.
And here's the thing. I am ecstatic. I love the fact that Tozawa is champion.
Yeah.
Tozawa definitely deserves to be champion. Neville had just had an 8-month run with this title.
Yeah, he won it at the Royal Rumble, which has been completely dominant ever since. And the big issue for me is I think the wind got taken out of the sails of the title change.
Yeah.
Because it happened so impromptuly on Raw with little to no fanfare.
Yeah.
And this was, like I mentioned during the Emma versus Mickie James match, the crowd was pretty dead the whole match up until the very finish.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, they made a big deal about this being at SummerSlam, and then with no rhyme or reason, it's, oh yeah, Titus O'Neil decided he wanted to get Tozawa's match on Raw, and here's where I assume there is potential for it to be put back on the show.
Because Neville will have a rematch.
Neville has a rematch. He'll say, oh, well, I was expecting to face you at SummerSlam, not on Monday Night Raw, so... I want my rematch. You shouldn't even be champion. Because on 205 Live, we're supposed to get Akira Tozawa's championship celebration. So
as presented
expect some Apollo Crews and some Titus O'Neil.
I'm okay with Apollo Crews.
On 205 Live.
Yeah. Another thing that I thought might have been a bit of a little takeaway from this match, and not as in, like, I took it away from the match, but, like, what kind of made the match a little bit less than it should have been, is... I feel like maybe, probably because of being taken off the pay-per-view, being on Raw gave them a little bit more time constraint.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it was either time constraint or because, SummerSlam is supposed to be 4 hours long, so the matches can have a good grip of time. Even if it was on the pre-show is 2 hours long.
Well, see,
so the match can have a good grip of time.
And that's the thing, is like, if you're planning a championship match, and then you put it on Raw where you're trying to build every other match you have, that takes a ton of time away from an important match like a Cruiserweight Championship match.
Yeah, but that's not important to Vince anymore.
I know it's not, but still.
And then on top of that, potentially the whole idea that there's a good chance that probably until right before Raw, Neville and Tozawa didn't even know this match was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they probably had to throw the Raw version of their championship match together on the fly.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I'm sure that the two of them can put. I mean, we already saw their match at Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
They had a fantastic match, and I'm sure if you put that match on a platform like SummerSlam,
One of the big four, which I feel like that's the other biggest part, is that Neville won his title at one of the big four, and he should have dropped his title on one of the big four because he's made the Cruiserweight Championship feel almost more important than most of the other championships in WWE, with maybe the exception of the NXT Championship and NXT Women's Championship.
yeah, the only reason it gets downplayed is because no one has their attention on 205 Live much.
Yeah.
So, the cruiserweight division falls by the wayside. But Neville has been consistently making at least some sort of an effort to put it in the spotlight.
Yeah, so the fact that he's been so dominant, and to have him drop it in essentially an impromptu match on a Monday Night Raw,
Yeah.
not even on the Cruiserweight flagship show 205 Live,
Yeah.
but on Monday Night Raw, is like, okay, now Neville doesn't feel important anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of like when the New Day beats everyone so they can keep their titles, and then 6 days later they lose to Cesaro and Sheamus because they beat the record.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope the match gets put on, and I don't know, maybe they're just going to be like, hey, we'll get Neville away from the championship real quick. We'll see. Then we had some stuff that didn't really matter, like Elias Sampson beating up R-Truth. That happened. We had Cass getting Vicky Guerrero type heat with the shark cage.
That might have been one of the funnest parts to watch.
Who was him starting and stopping his promo.
Enzo came out and copied him.
He did. Then brought out Big Show, and Big Show and Cass danced around the shark cage for a little bit.
Which, I'm going to be honest, is the smart strategy for Cass if he's going to fight the Big Show in any kind of place that has like a pillar in the middle. Because I can bet you he's going to be able to strafe left and right a lot faster than Big Show.
Yeah. But
I think if it was a straight line, Big Show could give him a run for his money. But having to go around, Big Show's like a crocodile.
Yeah, he doesn't have very good left and right.
Yeah, he's got to turn and go, and then turn and go, and then turn and go.
But eventually a distraction from Enzo allowed Big Show to get the advantage on Big Cass. But apparently Big Cass has connections with the club.
Well, I was super duper confused by it at first. Then I realized, oh wait, didn't Big Show and Enzo beat the club last week though?
Yeah, but I feel like...
So now they want revenge. And helping Big Cass...
That's just...
It's the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Okay. It just seems real fast. Like, I didn't the club took that loss so personally. They're like...
No, it's just everybody hates Enzo that much.
Oh. Alright. It's Enzo's fault.
Yeah, Big Show can blame Enzo for this.
Eventually, I don't know which one of them had a belt on, but one of them took their belt off, they wrapped it around the wrist of the Big Show. This is after Enzo's been booted off the apron by Cass.
Twice, I think.
Gallows ends up dragging just the hand of the Big Show into the shark cage, and while I don't know how Anderson was holding him down, but he was doing it. Anderson had the Big Show down.
Well, Anderson was holding onto his legs.
Oh,
and
okay.
Anderson was the legs guy.
And Gallows had the hand in the door, at which point Cass then grabbed the door and swung it and crushed Big Show's hand. Then he proceeded to stomp on it. Him and the club just completely obliterate Big Show.
Specifically his knockout punch hand.
Yeah. And so, smart.
Because that's what Big Show's been using to put Cass down the last couple weeks.
And so, yeah, so now Cass has a little bit of an advantage going into his match against Big Show on Sunday.
Yeah, because he's got a knockout foot and Big Show doesn't have a knockout hand.
Yeah. And then we're going to find out that Big Show is ambidextrous.
No, he's just going to punch Enzo, or he's going to punch Cass in the face with cast on his knockout fist, which is going to make it worse. This is where the plan backfires on Cass.
You fucked up. Yeah, and then Enzo tried to apologize, and Big Show said, "Shut the fuck up, I'm going to beat his ass on Sunday." And then we finished the night with all 4 members.
Going face to face to face to fact.
Yes. All 4 members of the Fatal 4-Way match for the Universal Championship, starting with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman.
Where Paul Heyman cut a 5-minute-long promo.
Followed quickly by Samoa Joe.
Braun Strowman, and the 2 of them collectively cut a promo that was about 1/10 of the time of Paul Heyman's.
And then Roman Reigns came out and
speared Samoa Joe immediately.
Yeah, and so Joe rolls out of the... And there were 12 security guards out there that did nothing until Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman were the only people left in the ring.
Yeah, because after Roman Reigns speared Samoa Joe, he waited an awkwardly long time to turn around while Braun Strowman was standing right behind him the whole way, waiting to power slam him.
That's why he took his time. He's like, I know Braun's back there. Fuck that. He won't do anything to turn around.
Yeah, he takes the power slam. He rolls out of the ring, and then we're left with Braun and Brock, who both guys like stare at each other from their opposing corners, and then they just kind of start sauntering towards each other, like they're about to like whip their dicks out in a measuring contest.
And apparently that was
that's what sets the security guards off.
We don't. This is PG. We can't have a dick measuring contest on Raw. And so they start breaking them up, and of course security guards die.
Yeah, some of them get beeled out of the ring. Nobody got beeled as bad as the one that Braun did a couple weeks ago. Thank God.
It'll be hard to top that.
And then they're about to fight, and Kurt whistles towards the back of the locker room, and everybody pours out, and it takes all the wrestlers in the locker room to hold back Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar from fighting each other, and the club decided they're going to hold back Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe's trying to get back into the ring. Roman Reigns, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, where the fuck did Roman Reigns go?
I like, in my head, like, the best case scenario is, like, one wrestler just laid down on top of Roman Reigns while he was outside the ring, still laying down. And he's like, Roman can't get up if I just lay on him. It was like Apollo Crews is just laying on top of Roman Reigns.
I was just trying to imagine who it would be. Roman's just awkwardly going, I can't, I want to get in the fight.
It's just Heath Slater.
Oh, man. Okay, so yeah.
I'm just one man.
Stupid. So yeah.
Rhino's just sitting on Roman's chest eating crackers.
Cheese and crackers. Oh, man. Yeah, so I think we talked way more than Raw deserved. I'm excited for 2 of the Raw matches. I'm so excited for the Fatal 4-Way.
I'm excited for the Fatal 4-Way because if history has shown us anything, Brock's matches are better when he has more opponents.
Yes.
He has to work harder when there's more people.
He does. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Just the segment didn't make me more excited.
Yeah, I'm less excited because Seth Rollins isn't in it to do an elbow drop and break one of Brock's ribs.
Yes. But
Seth busting out the Shane McMahon elbow drop was pretty sick.
But we are excited for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose to take on the Bar for the tag team titles.
So those are 4 immensely talented dudes.
And we're excited to see the return of the Demon.
It's Kane returns at SummerSlam.
Fuck you! It's Finn Balor. God damn it.
Demon Finn.
Demon Finn. But yeah,
that just sounds like a bad Jaws ripoff. Devilfish. Demon Finn.
It's like Jason Goes to Hell meets Jaws. Ugh. That's bad. Thanks for watching, guys.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click the links.
There's a whole bunch of links.
Check out the podcast.
That's one of the links. It works this week. Oh my god. Thanks, SoundCloud.
And check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's reasonable to W.
Like wrestling. Where there will be 2 brand new punishment videos coming out later this week. And stay on this YouTube channel because I forgot until today that fucking SummerSlam's on Sunday. So we're going to be having some predictions pop up. So look forward to that. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck. Time to so new.
Yeah. And bye.